What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Primo Show. It's been a fucking long time, hasn't it? So, today has been a huge day for progressives all around America, particularly in New York, where Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez defeated Joe Crowley in the primary election for Congress in the 14th District of New York. Now, the reason why this is so significant, if you don't already know, Ocasio-Cortez's background, she is 28 years old. 28 years old. She was a waitress before she ran for Congress. I mean, this is going to be made into a fucking movie eventually, as long as she doesn't do anything too crazy or stupid. But here's why this is such a big deal. So, Joe Crowley isn't a particularly bad person. He's an establishment Democrat, though. And establishment Democrats put one thing before people, and that is money. They don't represent their constituents because they have to play ball. And a lot of times they have good intentions, but they just don't know any other system. And it shows it right here. If there's ever been a more obvious case, it is something I am ignorant of, because Joe Crowley spent over $3 million on his campaign, which means he raised over $3 million on his campaign. Ocasio-Cortez raised $600,000, all from small dollar donors. Joe Crowley's campaign contributions he received were mostly from major multi-million-dollar corporations or special interests who have an incentive to get access or influence with the congressman. It's how politics in America unfortunately works until now, because we now know that, I mean, she ran a Bernie Sanders style campaign. She is for Medicare for all. She's for universal college. She's wants to abolish ICE because that was set up under the George Bush administration, and it's a fascistic regime of basically the Gestapo for illegal immigrants. It's totally un-American, and it's disgusting. Did I already say she's for Medicare for all? She's a fire breather progressive. She's somebody who can show that with hard work and getting the message out to everybody, not just the people who are going to give them money in hopes that their advertisements will buy enough voters. No, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, for instance, printed out her policy, her platform in, I believe it was 8 languages within the city of New York, in like Korean and Spanish and English, obviously, Chinese, to show that yes, she's trying to reach out to everybody, and she's gonna represent the people in her district. Because it may sound crazy now, but politicians are actually supposed to represent the people that live in their district. So why would a 54-year-old white guy represent the average person from the Bronx? He doesn't live in the Bronx. I don't know if the 14th district is exactly in the Bronx. I could be wrong about that. But here's exactly how it breaks down. So Ocasio-Cortez wiped the floor with Joe Crowley. Absolutely obliterated him. Now, people in the mainstream media are calling this the biggest upset in campaign history, or in Democratic history in recent years. I have to disagree. it may be an upset, but nobody saw this coming. And the mainstream media certainly didn't. And you know why? Because none of them showed them on her, or showed her on their platform, on their network. She, I think, was on, what was it? MSNB? No, it wasn't MSNBC. It was CBSN. So CBS, yeah, CBSN. That's it. The business network. And it's amazing, man. Like, without any mainstream coverage, without the money to buy huge amounts of advertisements to put on the radio or to share with, or, send out letters and flyers and hang up all kinds of posters and signs. I mean, that shit costs money. But what happens with grassroots movements where people actually get inspired to go out and vote for somebody, they will start to knock on doors, and they will start to participate in the process. They'll phone bank for them, for instance. I mean, they'll get the message out because they will see that, hold on, not every politician is like Joe Crowley. And I'm not saying Joe Crowley is a particularly bad guy, because he has fought for good things. He hasn't been he was one of the first congressmen to actually support Medicare for all. So there I have to give him credit. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's a Democratic Socialist of America, endorsed by them as well. She's also a Justice Democrat, which was a political, basically, purity test to make sure that you follow a progressive agenda and you run on values and you take small dollar donations. I think it was Cenk Uygur and Kyle Kalinske of TYT and Secular Talk that threw that together. And a guy with 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he's the one who actually wrote the platform. Kyle did. In a snowball effect, we now have a progressive champion in office. Well, assuming she beats the Republican, which in most likely she will decimate him. It won't even be close, because she's reaching out to everybody. And, New York is a very liberal place anyways. But even if it wasn't, I think she could win. This is going to sound crazy, but once she's of age to run for president, she's going to run for president if her platform continues into what she says it is. If she can make her platform reality for the people of her district, if she can move up maybe to a senator, who knows, she could have a shot. And I think that I'm obviously speculating years in advance, and maybe I'm just a little too excited, because check this out. So the vote count broke down to 13,245 for Ocasio-Cortez. Crowley got 9,745 votes. Now, when you divide those numbers by the actual amount of money they raised for the campaign, Joe Crowley spent $307.85 to get one vote, which is pretty sad. Now, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, that number was 44.52, which is her 9,745, or I'm sorry, 13,245 votes divided by the $600,000 she raised in her campaign, which goes to show grassroots movements work if people stay focused on platforms and the issues, and they don't get involved in identity politics, and they don't get involved in the corporate trap that is, or at least the corporate atmosphere that so many politicians get into it for. And we're going to see a new wave of progressives who aren't going to take the status quo anymore, and who aren't going to take the shit lying down. And we're going to change the United States of America, and it's going to be for the better. So, congratulations, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, on one of the biggest upsets in my lifetime as far as the Democratic Party goes, and perhaps the beginning of the reform of the current Democratic establishment. So, if you like what I do, please like, comment, subscribe on this video, and I'll try to shoot you a reply. And if I don't reply, it's probably because I forgot what I was just about to say, and I'll have to cut that video short. So fuck you, bye.